It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
With Caleb Williams going to the NFL and USC joining the Big Ten next year, do you think it's possible Lincoln Riley leaves USC?
Bro, Lincoln Riley has not been a very good coach this year. What's he going to do? Who's going to hire him? This has not been his resume leader. It's crazy how bad USC has been.
Yeah. You know what's even worse than their defense, I think, is their offensive line.
All of the big people have kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Like if you're supposed to be big.
You mean like physically big? Like
yeah.
The big size
like
people.
Fat guys, strong guys.
Okay.
But he's always had trouble with fat guys, strong guys. Even at Oklahoma, it was always fast guys, quarterbacks. And
so big fat guys are not his specialty.
Big or fat or big fat.
Correct.
And you need both. You need big guys.
Sure.
And then you also need big fat guys.
Mm-hmm.
But you also need little guys. You also need quick guys that are big. But this has not been a good year for Lincoln Riley. They play LSU and Michigan in 2 of their first 3 games next year.
Oof. It's going to be a rough start.
He's in year 2, and he signed a 10-year, $110 million deal. And they have that 5-star kid, Malachi Nelson. I mean, he's going to be their starting quarterback next year.
What if he leaves?
Bro, I don't know what's going on over there. I tend to do this with Lincoln Riley. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because this has been a bad year, absolutely. He's going to have to make a defensive coordinator change, which he did. He got rid of his guy that's been with him forever. But he's a good coach, and he's won everywhere. And so this has been a bad year. So you give him a bad year. If it happens again next year, then you probably start to wonder what's going to happen with him. I don't know if they're going to fire him. I don't know if America can afford to pay Jimbo and Lincoln, even though it's not the same coming from the same account. I don't think our country has enough money to pay both of those people off.
We're pretty rich.
I think the buyout was, I saw, like 80 to 90 million.
It's wild.
If it happened.
Wow.
Think about if it's, let's just say it's what Jimbo's was, which was, say, 70 on the low end. $140 million to just buy coaches out. And then you got to pay other coaches, right?
Yeah.
Think about the good things you could have done with that money and like the communities.
Why do you pay? Yeah, that's a good point. But why do you pay other coaches? Because they're all attached. Like they brought
No, you got to
them.
pay. Well, first of all, partially, but I'm saying you got to pay the other coach to come and take the job.
Yeah. The new coach. Gotcha.
So you got to pay the buyout, but then let's say you're going to hire Reed as the head coach, or you got to pay Reed $5 million a year, and that's very low. So Reed, would you take the job?
Yeah, 100%.
What would your offensive scheme probably be based around?
I'd probably say a play that I heard from a guy back in the day that has to do with Ring Around the Rosie. And
Nice. Thank you, Reed. Okay.
That'll work.
I don't think he leaves for a job in any way whatsoever. I don't think he goes anywhere. I don't think anybody wants him.
Yeah.
Too much money up for. Why would he leave when he's making that much money also at USC? And you don't want to leave with a bad taste in your mouth here.
Yeah, he's got to try to turn it around.
It's bad. Yeah, and he can easily. I do think he can easily. All right, what else?
At a quiet 10-1, does Louisville deserve a shot at the college football playoff?
They do if some other things fall into place. Meaning, let's go SEC championship. Let's go Georgia, Alabama. Let's say Georgia wins that game. Okay? Alabama, 2 losses, out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Michigan, Ohio State. Let's just say one of them's out because one of them whoops another one. So we'll put the Big Ten team in there. Because there's also a scenario where you have 2 SECs and 2 Big Tens, which would be hilarious. A hilarious playoff of those 2 conferences.
Oh, my gosh.
So, okay, so then you have 2. So then you have a possible Texas. Let's say Texas loses in the Big 12 championship. They lose. They could lose a couple times. Who cares? Okay? So who else is up there? Then Oregon and Washington. So let's say
Florida State.
Florida State's done. They lost a quarterback.
Okay.
You can't put them in now.
Yeah.
They're going to have to win out, be undefeated, and they will get put in then. But if they lose one game, they're out because, again, those humans are going to go, we can't put him in, that team in without their starting quarterback.
And I think they have to win big both games. They play, I think, Florida this
I don't
weekend?
think you can keep them out undefeated, even without their quarterback. I think
Gotta give them a chance.
I think an undefeated Florida State team, if they win 2 more games without their quarterback and they're undefeated, even though we probably all think there's no way, I still think you have to give the undefeated team in a Power 5 conference a spot in the 4. But let's say they lose. They're out.
Okay.
Who do we have left? Washington, Oregon. I think one of those teams gets in.
Mm-hmm.
I think Oregon is now better than Washington, but if they play a close game, they could actually both get in. How do you feel about 2 teams from the Pac-12?
But Oregon has to win because Oregon with 2 losses, there's no way,
correct.
right?
Oregon with a close win over Washington. But let's say that doesn't happen. Let's say Washington wins, Oregon's out. That's 2 losses.
Okay.
So far, the only teams we have in are Georgia, the Big Ten team, we'll just say Michigan since they're the favorite, and Washington. Okay, who's left? It's not LSU. They got 2 losses. They didn't even make the SEC championship. 3 losses, excuse me. Thank you.
It's Louisville.
I think, which is my point, a lot of things have to happen.
Crazy.
But I think then it's Louisville. Because who else would it be? I just don't think you can put LSU in for any reason whatsoever. And I know they're kind of in the, oh, do we let them in? No. No, you're not going to let a 2-loss team in, much less a 3. So, yes, I think they deserve it if some things fall through. I don't think they're one of the best 4 or 5 teams, though.
No.
But the Florida State thing sucks for Florida State.
Yeah, I feel bad for them. And Jordan Travis. That sucks.
Listen to this, though. They play Kentucky, and then they're going to play Florida State in the ACC title game.
That's Louisville schedule.
So one of those teams is kind of going to eliminate each other anyway.
Yeah.
They won't for sure play their way in, both of them, but for sure one of them would get eliminated regardless if that game depends on it.
How did their backup quarterback do? Because when did he go with the first half?
Yeah,
Early.
they were down 13-0, and then they won 58-13, I think.
They just were bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah, they played Southern Alabama or something.
They played us. They played 25 whistles, rec team.
Our team?
Yeah.
North Alabama.
It's pretty cool that Louisville is there, but you know, if you're 10-1 and you're in the ACC, that's not the same thing as 10-1 in the Big 10, the Big 12, the SEC, the Pac-12. They just need some things to happen.
But if this was like Clemson in the ACC, they would
Absolutely,
be up there, right?
Because they have earned over the last few years the humans to go, I believe in that coach. He's done it before. I believe in the program. But Louisville hasn't. It's unfair.
I hear you.
But the humans in the computers.
Right. Humans first, then computers.
Yes.
Because we made the computers.
Correct. All right, go ahead.
Going to the NFL with their teams having completely different seasons, do you think the Panthers are regretting not taking CJ Stroud in the draft?
If they fire Frank Reich after 1 year with no weapon,
Yeah, that's crazy.
it is a disaster. I know that owner really likes to be meddly with that team. I would too. If I was the owner, I'd be the secret second coach. I'd be like, I own the team. You guys do whatever you think's best. Yeah, right. I got an earbud. Hey, it'd be really. I'm with my friends. They would love to see a flea flicker. I'd be doing that crap like crazy. So
Secretly.
yeah, but in an earpiece. Yeah. I'd be like, guys, watch this. Watch this. You guys want to see a center sneak? Watch this. Watch this.
Dude, that'd be a great party.
Yes, coach. Watch. What do you need? Center sneak, please. So, I watch Bryce Young, and I know he threw a bad pick yesterday. The Cowboys.
Sure.
Threw that pick 6. The guy's got 4. By the way, 4.
Yeah, I think he's
4
got
pick 6s.
4 pick 6s, 7 interceptions in the year. Like,
Wild.
Killing it.
That being said, I think Bryce Young is a good quarterback. I really do. His interceptions are so calm and composed.
He does look calm and composed, even
That's true.
afterwards.
He's thrown 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. The Panthers are 1-9. But maybe they are, but I don't think it's because of Bryce Young. If they are wanting CJ Stroud, it's simply because of CJ Stroud, which I don't think is a shot against Bryce Young. I still think Bryce Young is going to be a really good quarterback if he can just have any sort of help. I have no reason to like him. He played for Alabama. I don't care about that. He beat the crap out of us. He was nice to us, though. He was
very nice to us.
I forgot about that part.
Good kid.
Yeah, but I've watched almost every Panther game. And remember, let me mention a couple other quarterbacks who had very similar, even worse rookie years. Maybe Trevor Lawrence, maybe Peyton Manning. Terrible. Played for bad teams with no help. Terrible rookie seasons because they let him play the whole season. That's part of the glory. You just can't compare him to CJ Stroud, who's just out of his mind. Although he went very rookie yesterday, second half.
Yeah, he had the yardage, but yeah, three interceptions.
Picks.
Yeah,
he tried to lose the game.
that one touchdown, though, the long one to take Dell. Oh, that was
like
dirty.
It was awesome.
That was dirty.
Hey, and do teams, like, after it's said and done, like with the draft and everything, do they ever, like, mid-season go like, man, we should have gotten CJ Stroud? Like,
Probably
you
to
think
each other,
really
quietly.
I bet there's like a scout that's like, man, I tried to tell them to draft CJ.
Well, what word on the street is, because you guys know where I'm from, the streets.
Yeah, that's right.
The owner was pushing hard for Stroud.
Oh.
Because Frank Reich, his thing has always been big, pocket, strong arm quarterbacks. That's not really
Bryce Young.
what Bryce Young is.
Right.
But I still think Bryce Young's a good quarterback. I think he will be a good quarterback.
I agree.
I was watching Kyler Murray yesterday. Is he the smallest player ever to play in the NFL? How does he look smaller than ever?
He looks tiny.
He's lost.
It's like a child.
Yeah.
I never used to think that, but it's like a child running around out there. It's like I start to feel bad for him. Like, leave the kid alone. Don't hurt the little kid. But Panthers, I thought, played the Cowboy. Eddie, your Cowboys almost played that game too close.
Yeah, they did. They sure did. And then defense turned into good defense. And
At the end of the game, the score does not reflect really how close
Correct.
the game was throughout the
Correct.
game. And then CJ Stroud tried to lose that game.
Yeah.
But also, that's a rookie. A rookie's supposed to do that sometimes. But also, what it tells me about the Texans is they can win games they're not playing awesome.
I know.
They don't have to play out of their mind to win a game, and that's what the good teams do.
that's amazing.
They win games that they kind of sucked in.
Yeah.
So kind of cool to see. It's kind of cool to see the Texans win.
Yeah, it's fun.
And they got a rookie coach.
Yeah.
They got a rookie quarterback.
And then even Will Anderson's having a good year, which
Yeah.
is kind of quietly. Yeah, it's fun.
you got to like a team with no weapons, no big name weapons doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Or weapons you didn't think were weapons.
Yeah.
Until they said, "Here I am."
We're weapons.
You guys see Myles Garrett without a shirt on? Oh my God.
Is he a monster?
I mean,
Hey, what does it look like? Describe it.
so he by the way, playing the Steelers yesterday, the Steelers almost won that game. They came back at 1. Cleveland wins.
Yeah.
But however, there was one point where the Steelers helmet, the quarterback's helmet went on,
saw
and
that.
Myles Garrett picked it up. Now remember, he once grabbed the Steelers helmet.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's right. Hit the quarterback.
yes. It was so funny
Who
to
was
watch
that
the
dude?
Steelers players.
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah. To watch them grab that helmet back from him.
That was
Not
so
this time.
funny.
The Cleveland defense is awesome.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett was in gray sweatpants and no shirt. He had muscles I didn't even know existed. And then his humongous dong in his sweatpants.
What? Really? You can see it?
Yeah. And the only reason I even thought about it, I was wearing sweatpants at my show in Louisville, and I told Eddie, I need to go change my pants before we do meet and greet because it looked like a tiny turtle head. His looked like
Yeah.
Myles Garrett's looked like he had an anaconda.
Sure.
And I put over our picture because I posted a picture of Eddie and I in Louisville eating ice cream or whatever it was. And you could see like a tiny pinky poke coming out of mine.
Did you censor it?
I did. I just put the Louisville tag or where we are over the top. But I think that's why I noticed the Myles. I mean, maybe the greatest body I've ever seen on a dude
Wow.
is wild.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
As
Yeah.
soon as you said gray sweatpants, I was like, is he going where I
for
think he's
sure.
going with this?
I don't know if he knew what he was doing, but if I look
he
like
knows.
that,
You know what
I
you're
would
doing.
He
wear,
knows. He
I would wear
knows.
suits made of sweatpants. I would show up to prom in a sweatpants tuxedo and like, look at this ding-a-ling. Oh, okay. What else you got?
Last one, after another one possession loss on Sunday, is Brandon Staley of the Chargers the next coach to get fired.
You know, they should just take him and Eberflus and be like, all right, guys, pick a number 1 through 10. Okay. Okay, good. You're both fired. It doesn't even matter the number they picked.
Any number they
And
lose.
the Bears, yeah, huh?
So I'll start with the Chargers first. And you could tell Staley was getting upset when they asked him if he was still going to call defensive plays. I don't know how he makes it through the rest of the season, much less into next year. They're just losing too much. Yeah. And he's probably a big reason that Herbert, I don't believe Justin Herbert, even though he throws like crazy, he doesn't win games. Herbert's 1 game under 500, his total career record himself. He did throw a pass. He did throw a couple passes that were just straight dropped, but he also threw a pick. I'm not a Herbert believer
Anymore.
ever.
Never?
I only believe because people told me to believe.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
still see what they see because he looks awesome. But he doesn't win. They don't win. I think Staley gets fired. I think Eberflus now gets fired. The crazy thing about the Bears was Justin Fields looked good. They should have won that game.
Oh, yeah.
They had Detroit on the ropes.
Yeah.
Detroit scored twice in the last.
In like 2 minutes.
Like Goff ran down and scored in like a minute.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then, it was so annoying because I had a bunch of money on it. But I think that Ron Rivera's probably gone in Washington, but they'll let him finish because I think they brought him in for stability reasons. I don't think you bring in Riverboat Ron and just go, all right, we need you to, you're a 60-year-old man, really give us a fresh coat of paint.
Yeah.
They brought him in because that program, it feels like a program. I mean, Dan Snyder, when he owned it, and they brought him in just to be some kind of guiding little oar you put on the back of the boat. Just
Through all the changes.
just
yeah.
crazy. So, Frank Reich, they shouldn't fire Frank Reich. They shouldn't. I hope they don't. If they do, it's a meddling owner. I'm telling you, another team's going to grab him immediately. Eberflus, out. Staley out. And we did a bit, if you remember, like 4 months ago, we're like, what's going to happen? Taylor Swift and Kelsey break up? And I was like, Josh McDaniels will get fired first.
That's right.
And Josh McDaniels did get fired.
And Taylor's still together with Travis.
Correct.
Through the holidays.
So you win that. You'll see what happens afterwards. Hey, what about the Bills, though? Like, they fire their offensive coordinator and then come out looking like they're Super Bowl champs.
You know, and I don't even think, because their offensive coordinator was
Dorsey.
Ken Dorsey, the quarterback, Miami quarterback, right? I don't even think he was doing a fine job.
Yeah.
You just have to fire somebody.
Yeah.
But man, it looks bad when they fire you and then your team just looks amazing
The Jets are
afterwards.
so
I get it, but
done,
I mean,
dude.
And Zach Wilson, I always think, in the NFL, if a guy's good enough to make it to the NFL, if you can get him enough reps, he'll eventually be at least serviceable. Not Zach Wilson.
That O-line is just as bad.
I'm telling you, I had faith in Zach Wilson to just become okay. But he's not okay.
no.
He's terrible. And he's also cocky, which
It doesn't help.
doesn't help. Yeah. That's the Tittle Tattle.
The stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with